Hey everyone, it's me, Robin again from Glow Yoga Kids. I have been sharing a lot of videos this week, specifically for our younger kiddos, our preschool age, kinder age, older toddler age. And so I wanted to share a couple of resources that I use and that I love to use for our slightly older age group. Maybe our OSC age range. And for those of you who don't have children who are in out of school care, that range usually starts at elementary, obviously, maybe 5 or 6 years old, all the way to, maybe 12. And so I wanted to share a couple of things that work really well, and you can order them directly to your home as well. So I'm going to share some links for those, or some options for those rather, that you can order and bring into your house just to bring a little bit more mindfulness for some of those kids that maybe aren't getting as much out of those super adventure yoga classes that I've been sharing all this week. So the first one, I'm going to show you the box first. It's called Yoga Pretzels, and potentially you've seen this before. It's created by Tara Goober and Leah Kalish, illustrated by Sophie Fatus. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. But you can get these Yoga Pretzel cards from Barefoot Books, and there is a super awesome woman contact that I have from Barefoot Books. I'm going to share her information below. So if you're looking to order those, they're only $20. And they not only have the yoga pretzel cards, but they also have like mindfulness cards. They have lots of other books, board books on mindfulness for younger kids as well. But obviously I wanted to share some older kid stuff. So this, they have their little, instructional manual inside that tells you kind of how to use them. But even on the front, they say this is for both kids and grown-ups, because they really feel like this is something that you can do as a family. And, it's great for kind of all ages. So obviously, if you were looking to use these for some of the younger kiddos, using that more of a, teaching them or getting them to just look at the pictures, or you explaining how each thing would be a good way of doing it. But basically, they separate them in the top corners of each card. They've got kind of what kind of pose it is or what they're trying to accomplish. So this one obviously being a balance type pose, tree, it gives you some words about, tree pose and balancing. And then on the back side, they teach you, and hopefully the glare isn't too bad, they teach you how to actually do it and the steps to do it. And along with those, they've got some beautiful affirmations that you can use, and then some supporting content. So like, what kind of tree are you? Maybe feel yourself growing, bend with the wind, that sort of thing. So that's going to be really helpful. Always my cat in the video. She just wants to be a part of it. Yeah, so obviously balancing poses. They've got forward bends, this way, forward bends. We've got back bends. Let's see what else. They've got standing poses. They also have breath work. So these are the breathing ones. This particular one is an elephant breath. And on the back, again, it shows you how to do it. So for those kiddos that can actually already start to read, they can literally entertain themselves with these things for hours. There's 50 fun yoga activities within this one deck. And there's lots of different ways that you can use it. Some of the other poses, they have twist and stretch poses. They've got partner poses, things that you can do together. They even have games, so different games that you can play. And then the last one that I was going to share, and arguably the most important one, is this one, time in, which is also kind of their way of saying meditation. So a lot of parents have started to use the word time in instead of time out when their children are needing just a few extra minutes to just chill out, like maybe they're having a hard time. And usually those signs come from a child maybe overreacting to a situation or getting a little bit anxious or upset, or so having a time in is a great way of finding that relaxation. So you can obviously, with the younger kid, you can read this to them, but for the older kids, they can take a time in card when they need a break and go over to the corner and have a nice little read of it. And it's either going to be a guided visualization or just some things that you can do to help you relax in that moment. So these cards are amazing. Like I said, Barefoot Book sells them. I'm going to write the link. I have the link down below for you. And then one other resource I wanted to share, and I'm not sure, I'm going to hopefully be able to find this online, or a version of it at least, but I got these from Chapters, from Indigo Chapters. They're called Story Cubes, and I found these to be really helpful with these kind of middle age groups, because on each side of the dice, it's got pictures. So they've got, on there's 9 dice in here, and they all have different pictures on them, different things. And so what I like to do, and you can do it in a few different ways, in my classes and stuff, I usually put them in a bag, and then I'll get each kid to pull out a dice and give it a roll, and then we're going to start to create a story together. But obviously, being a yoga teacher, we incorporate movement. So whatever the picture is, we then do that pose as we're telling the story. So maybe we would do a house pose, and and then maybe there's flowers being planted outside of the house or something like that. So you're just going to basically use the cubes to tell a story, and there's so many pictures on all of the sides of these cubes that you can tell an infinite number of stories. So usually I'll tell the story, all the dice laid out, we do all the poses for the story, we create the story together, and then maybe we re-roll them and we do a new story. Another option, and I know a lot of people do this on Pinterest, and there's other versions of that as well, but the story rocks, or story stones, and I know that you can purchase those online for sure, and they work kind of similarly, but basically you would put all the rocks in a bag, and on each, on the side of the rock you would have a picture of something, and you pull out the different stones to tell your story. And so the nice part about the rocks is that the stories maybe would be a little bit easier to tell, just because you can maybe buy specific themed rocks, like a princess knight themed rock set where you're pulling them out, and you could probably make them yourself at home. I know that I have tried in the past, and haven't necessarily failed, just never really completed them. But there's that option as well. So you could definitely make those. You could go out into your garden, collect some rocks, and draw pictures on them to make your own stories. You don't always have to have the fancy set. But anyways, those are the 2 resources that I wanted to share with you that are great for kind of that OSC age range, ages kind of 5, 6 to 12. Stay tuned, because I'll have lots more tips for other age groups as well while you're all stuck at home. I'm sending all of my peace and love to you while you're stuck inside, and I hope you're enjoying these videos. Take care.